Welcome back, everyone. I'm Mr. Phantom Knight, and tonight we're diving into a chilling tale set in early 20th century America. Our story takes us deep into the haunting secrets of a once renowned asylum, now a site of unspeakable horror. So, dim the lights, settle in, and prepare for The Forgotten Asylum. My name is Evelyn Carter, and what I am about to recount is a story that defies the boundaries of human understanding. The Forgotten Asylum, once a beacon of progressive mental health care, is now a place of unimaginable terror. My journey into its depths began with a family mystery, and ended with a confrontation with the darkest aspects of the human soul. The dusty old manor that had belonged to my grandfather was a relic of a bygone era. When he passed away, I inherited not only his possessions, but a collection of old documents, including photographs, letters, and journals. Among these was a leather-bound journal filled with cryptic notes and strange symbols. My grandfather had worked at Ravensbrück Mental Institution, a grand asylum built in the early 1900s, and the journal hinted at something dark and unspoken. I had always been intrigued by my grandfather's work but knew little about his professional life. Ravensbrück was renowned for its state-of-the-art facilities and progressive treatments. However, the stories I heard about the asylum from family and old townsfolk were always unsettling. They spoke of strange occurrences, disappearances, and unexplained phenomena that seemed to plague the institution. Driven by a mix of curiosity and a desire to uncover the truth behind the mysterious journal, I decided to visit Ravensbrück. The asylum had been closed for over 30 years, and the land surrounding it had fallen into disrepair. The grandeur of the building, once the pride of the community, was now marred by decay and neglect. Yet, the allure of discovering what had truly happened there was too strong to resist. As I prepared for my trip, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was waiting for me at Ravensbrück. The stories of hauntings and ghostly apparitions filled my mind, but I was determined to face whatever awaited me. Armed with the journal, a flashlight, and a camera, I set out for the asylum. Ravensbrück loomed before me as I drove up the winding road to the estate. The asylum's towering spires and once majestic architecture were now cloaked in ivy and grime. The iron gates creaked as I pushed them open, and a chill ran down my spine. The air was heavy with the scent of mildew and decay, and an eerie silence hung over the grounds. The interior of the asylum was just as I had imagined, grand but eerily desolate. The halls were lined with faded wallpaper, and the floors creaked with each step. Dust-covered furniture and abandoned medical equipment were scattered throughout, a testament to the asylum's former life. My first destination was the asylum's archives, located in the basement. The basement was a labyrinth of dark, narrow corridors, and the air was cold and damp. The archives were filled with old files, records, and journals, many of which were covered in layers of dust. As I sifted through the documents, I found detailed records of Dr. Edward Hargrove, a psychiatrist whose name was frequently mentioned in the journal. Dr. Hargrove was known for his radical approach to mental health treatment. His experiments were intended to cure mental illness through unconventional means, but the records hinted at something far more sinister. The more I read, the clearer it became that Hargrove's methods were not only unorthodox, but cruel. The records described patients suffering from extreme and unrelenting torment, their conditions worsening under his care. One evening as I explored the asylum, I found myself drawn to the old isolation cells, small, dark rooms used to confine patients deemed too dangerous or unmanageable. The chilling atmosphere in these cells was palpable. Strange noises echoed through the corridors, and I felt a growing sense of unease. The temperature dropped noticeably, and shadows seemed to shift in the corners of my vision. My flashlight flickered erratically as I wandered through the desolate halls. I heard whispers, soft, unintelligible murmurs that seemed to come from all around me. The sound of footsteps echoed through the empty corridors, but when I turned, there was no one there. I felt a growing sense of dread as I moved deeper into the asylum, my steps growing more cautious with each passing moment. As I continued my investigation, I encountered strange phenomena. Objects moved on their own, and disembodied whispers filled the silence. My flashlight flickered, casting eerie shapes on the walls. I stumbled upon a hidden door leading to a room that was not listed in the asylum's blueprints, a room filled with strange apparatuses and unsettling notes. The more I uncovered, the more it became clear that Dr. Hargrove's experiments had gone horribly wrong. The final entries in his journal described a failed experiment involving a substance meant to purge the mind of its ills. The experiment resulted in horrific side effects and madness, and the patients subjected to it were never seen again. Hargrove's notes hinted at a dark ritual performed to bind the spirits of the patients to the asylum, ensuring their torment would never end. That night, as I reviewed the journal's final entries, a chilling realization struck me. The spirits of the patients were still trapped within Ravensbrück, their suffering extending beyond death. I felt a growing presence around me, as if the asylum itself was alive and watching. Shadows moved with purpose, and I could hear the faint cries of the tormented souls. Determined to escape, I fled from the isolation cells, but the asylum seemed to shift around me, its layout changing as if guided by a malevolent force. The walls closed in, and the air grew thick with a sense of impending doom. I found myself lost in a maze of corridors, with each turn leading me deeper into the heart of darkness. Finally, I stumbled upon an old elevator shaft. With trembling hands, I descended to the basement, hoping to find a way out. The journal had mentioned a hidden exit that might be my only chance. As I navigated through the basement's dark corridors, I encountered disturbing visions, ghastly apparitions of the patients, their faces twisted in agony. Reaching the hidden exit, I was met with an intense feeling of relief as I finally emerged into the night. Ravensbrück loomed behind me, its dark silhouette a grim reminder of the horrors that had transpired within its walls. I vowed never to return and to ensure that the truth about Dr. Hargrove and his experiments was brought to light. The forgotten asylum remains a chilling testament to the darkness that can lie hidden beneath the facade of progress and innovation. The spirits trapped within its walls are a reminder of the inhumane practices that once occurred, and the legacy of Ravensbrück will forever be marked by the suffering it harbored. And that's the story of The Forgotten Asylum, a haunting reminder of the shadows that can linger in the places we least expect. If you enjoyed this story or have your own eerie experiences to share, be sure to leave a comment or send them in. Until next time, stay curious, stay cautious, and keep watching the shadows. See you soon.